Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Drinkmoore, the Viking with the purple pants. This is the episode 5 of my Let's Play series on Crackpack. I want to introduce you to my little contraption over here. Railcraft. We have here a coke oven and a blast furnace. And a carpenter. Yeah, this is the whole thing is just a carpenter, but I just made it look cool, to my taste at least. And that's also the point that I want to bring across. You know, I could just place the coke oven and the blast furnace next to each other and such a carpenter and connect them with some pipes, but that's just not what I want to do here. That's not fun. Just make it work and then you're done after half an hour, and yeah, what do you do then? I want to build something nice and pretty and beautiful with some functionality that is a bit cooler than the normal piping thing, you know. And how this works is I manually put blocks of coal in here, and you know what the coke oven does, probably. If you don't, it just burns it down into coal coke, into one block of coal coke per block of coal, and some creosote oil. And with the creosote oil, you can produce rails, wooden ties to make rails in this carpenter here. You need electricity, you need creosote oil, and you need wood. You can also produce some kind of other things in the carpenter, but this carpenter is basically only used to produce wooden ties. And so this machine is very slow. It only produces like one block of coal coke every like 3 minutes or so, and I think 4.5 buckets of creosote oil in the same time from one block of coal. And I want to store in the future. I want to keep this running, and I want to store the creosote oil for whenever I need it, you know, because it produces so slowly. I already built this now, and it's gonna produce a creosote oil the whole time I'm gonna be playing on this in this world. So where do I store it? Actually store it over there in this tank, in this iron tank. It's also from Railcraft, and the way this works, the way I get it over there, is with these tank mine carts. I have two. One of them is taking the creosote oil from this fluid loader. Once this is full, you can enter this fluid loader and put it to different states. This state is hold cart until it's completely full. So this tank cart, when it's full, it's gonna come over here, turn to the right, and it's gonna come here, turn left. There's a fluid unloader underneath this track, and it's gonna take all the creosote oil out of it and put it in this iron tank. This iron tank, you know, I put this over here and not over there directly next to it, because I thought it looks cool to have it here in this wall. And eventually I'm gonna have more tanks with other fluids next to it, so the tank carts can come over here and unload all their things. And yeah, that's what this the full tank cart does. It comes here. When it's empty, it continues over there, flies around, moves around here, and comes back, and it's positioned here again until it's full. The other cart is actually parked in the back of the tank right now. Oh, it's parked here. It's almost full. Yeah, but it has to wait for the other one, for the other cart to fill the tank up again. So the full cart is gonna fill up and also come around here, and then go straight and deliver the creosote oil into this system. There's also a fluid unloader underneath, and some tanks. Like there's an internal storage of creosote oil, and eventually these Buildcraft tanks are gonna fill up with creosote oil, and this is just a very big buffer actually for the carpenter itself. Maybe later on, you know, this tank cart over from behind the tank is not parked over there. It's parked here. When it cannot deliver all the creosote oil, it's going to be parked here. And then every time I produce something, and the creosote oil is going out of the cart into the tanks, the cart will be empty and go straight ahead and get some more creosote oil for me. So yeah, that is how the system is running. I know it's overly complicated, but I just wanted to play around with this Railcraft mod because I love having these carts doing the work for me instead of just pipes. Of course, it's not as reliable. Like the first time I tested it out, the first cart already got stuck over there because there was a sheep on the track. So that kind of stuff can happen, of course. I mean, I could put like glass above it or something, but I think that would look silly, and I won't do that. And if you're interested in this, how this system works, I will give you a quick introduction. By the way, I'm sorry that this is such an episode where I just show you something that I already built. I don't know how interesting that actually is for you, instead of watching something that I'm building right now. But I really didn't have any piece to record the last days because my kids were around in the room the whole time, and this thing was actually quite complicated for me to figure out, and I just didn't feel comfortable enough recording. This here is a, how is it called? Let's take a look. Cheating, switch track. So this here is a switch track, and with this switch motor it can actually switch the track. So when this cart, when the cart comes from over there, it doesn't have to do anything, it will just go through. Cart comes from over there, it will automatically switch it around so it goes over there. If I grab myself this crowbar, I can actually, I think, right click on it to change the direction. So, and when a card comes from here, it switches automatically. The way I have it set up, when the card comes back, this track, somehow it automatically always turns that direction. I don't know how it works. It's a Minecraft thing, I think. And so you don't have to worry about this. It will always, when it comes here, always turn to this direction. But then there is a detector in here. Item detector. It says item detector, but what it really is a fluid, a card, fluid or tank card detector. So and you can set different modes. This one is to load is 0%. So that means when it's totally empty, it will actually emit a redstone signal, and I have it set up so it emits the redstone signal to down, and then there is redstone dust on the floor underneath this block, and that block, and that will make it switch. So the empty cards, when they come, they will have a redstone signal going to the switch motor, changing this so it goes to that direction to fill up again. The full cards won't emit any redstone, and will just go straight. You know, there's always the problem that the cards might run into each other, and then the whole system is blocked. So they have these lamps. These lamps actually are connected together, these two and these two, and they check for cards on the track over here. And if there's any card on this track, they will actually they're connected. Let me get my goggles. I need me goggles. There we are. Yeah, you see, these are the Trackman's goggles, and with this you can set them to different modes, and with this you can see what is actually linked together and whatnot. So I don't have many more parts. This is actually it. I have this signal, this block signals, and I have these receiver boxes down there. There, it's called a signal receiver box. I have several of those. I didn't need any other boxes for this setup. There's a connection from this to this one, and there's a holding track on top, set to holding mode. You can change modes with this crowbar. Now it's a train holding mode. If you shift right click on it, it goes back again to holding mode. There are several modes, and so if there's a train on this track, it actually tells the box underneath to switch off the redstone signal, so the cart can actually drive. The cart is actually being stopped by this, because you don't want the cart from there and here crashing here, right? And once the cart from here left, this one will emit a redstone signal again, and it acts like a powered rail, sending the cart off in this direction. And basically this is the same setup. If a cart is over here, and the cart from here will be stopped where, I think here, and if a cart is here in this area, the cart from over here will be stopped here. And once they move through, the cart from that comes back from the tank is being released again to go where it needs to go. And that is actually already the whole setup. There's a holding cart here too. You need that to hold the cart in place so it can unload the fluids. And once it's done, this fluid unloader emits a redstone signal and sends it off again. And usually I think it goes to that direction. That's not what I want. So I have a control track here. First it's gonna be stopped by this buffer track, and then it's gonna be pushed by the control track in this direction. There are several control tracks on the track to give it some boost. You see here underneath another detector, just exactly the same setup as over there. The empty carts go straight and the full carts go over here. And here's another stop track to stop this cart from continuing if a cart actually comes this way. So yeah, that's the whole setup. That's all I did the last days, and I hope you like it. I like it very much. I think it looks really cool. I also changed the color of the iron tank. Usually it's much lighter, but I changed it to light gray, I think. Light gray, yeah. And this thing holds 2,400 buckets, so it's gonna take probably with one coke oven a real life week or something like that. If I would have this running for a whole week, I think it would need that long to fill it up, at least. So yeah, and there is some piping going on. Namely, there's a item pipe from Ender.io going from the coke oven underneath here to the blast furnace to get the coal coke in here. But everything else I have to do manually. Also, the energy, I'm using these immersive engineering blocks here, the LV capacitor, low voltage capacitor, and I'm getting my energy from over there through a tesseract. That was the easiest solution for now. Later on I want to have my power set up over here in this area, and I'm gonna distribute my power to wherever I need via power cards. So there's a redstone flux card and different. Where are they? Yeah, here from Industrial Craft. bad box cards, MFE cards. I don't know what I'm gonna use yet. I only have redstone flux. I've only produced redstone flux, but I think these cards look much cooler than the redstone flux card, so I'm probably gonna use these and transform my energy from a redstone flux to EU via these immersive engineering wires. I don't know if there is much loss. There's some loss, but I don't care about that really. It's not about being most efficient. I can always build more power if I need it. I just want this stuff to look cool, and I think this immersive engineering LV capacitor also fits very well to this style that I'm going for here. I don't know what it is, or what it's called, this style, but I like it. So this is what I built. It's not the most impressive thing maybe, but I really dig it. By the way, these are carpenter's blocks with some, how is this called, factory blocks on top, and this is a smoker also from Railcraft. It does absolutely nothing. It just looks cool. Just looks like something is going on, something's burning in there, and I also will try to get rid of the torches later on, but yeah, I have more important things to do right now. There are some Ender IO lights in here, inverted lights, because this place is already actually finished, and I think they look very cool. No need to put torches in here. They're also not that expensive, like 4 glowstone dust and some other things. So I don't know if this was the whole episode. Was this the whole episode? I don't really know what else to talk about. Yeah, I have upgraded some other things. I have a digital miner. That is the first one I ever built, and it's gonna be a thing that I'm always gonna build in my Minecraft worlds in the future. I think it is so practical. It's really extremely practical, and I have it running over here in the overworld right now. It's easier to access, and I'm replacing the blocks with cobblestone, so there is no lag if the lava is floating around underneath, and because if I just take the ores out, there might be lava floating downwards and floating. I don't know if you say that. Anyway, the next thing I'm gonna build is probably a forestry wheat farm, and maybe already an animal farm, and some more power production and some power storage units, because I'm really running out of power very quickly if I use this digital miner and all my ore processing. Also, what I found, this how is it called, chemical injection chamber, is very practical, combined with this machine over here to produce clay. For the coke oven you need clay, and instead of running around looking in the rivers, I just produce clay in my own back door, in my own hut here. Oh, it's already full. Actually, did this stop? Yeah, it's actually stopped. I need to build more gas tanks, or also get rid of this gas, burning it, producing energy. I don't know yet. Maybe later on. So what else? What else? I mean, I have to say, it did take a lot of effort to build this system over there, even though it's actually quite simple. But I didn't know most of the blocks yet. I didn't know the receiver boxes, the signal lights, signal lamps. I had no idea how these things work. And I swear, with 2 children constantly needing something, It's quite difficult to focus on such a project and finish it efficiently. What is going on? So as you can see, no, you cannot see anything. My tank car just took off, and now the one in the back, who was almost full, just filled up and is going where it's supposed to go. So guys, thank you very much. Please, oh no. See, that happened before somehow. Yeah, anyways, I will fix that. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And bye bye. Well, this happened to me before, but then it fixed itself and now it's back. Sometimes it's not going over these tracks, it pushes it back. And I don't really know why that happens. So if I put a redstone torch, basically a powered booster track here, it has enough speed to go over it. So let's try this out. Yeah, there it goes. Bye bye cart, and see you in the next episode.